And here we go. All right, we've got a winter weather advisory for tonight. Accumulating snow on the way for northeastern half of the region, so to speak, especially along and north of Interstate 64. So we've got snow to talk about, number one, and we're going to time that out, look at the snowfall amounts, another snow chance Saturday, by the way. And then we're going to be talking about some frigid area, polar blast on the way this weekend. Sunday looks like it'll be the coldest that we've seen since last January. We're talking lows in the single digits, highs in the teens on Sunday. So severe, extreme, bitter cold. Like the temperatures that are typically the coldest in January is what we're going to have for this Sunday. Thankfully, it'll be a brief cold spell this weekend. I'm looking at a warmer pattern beginning the middle of next week that could continue through Christmas week. So the last half of our December is looking warmer. So if you're tired of the cold weather, we've got some good news that we'll look at on the Ben on a Limb segment when we look down the road a little ways with the GFS weather model. But we're looking at a cloudy sky here as we look live with our Extol Media Studios camera here in uptown New Albany. But it is dry. There were maybe just a couple flurries flying early this morning. Again, that winter weather advisory will kick in tonight at 7 p.m. It goes until 7 a.m. Friday. 1 to 4 inches of snow possible, just to give you some of the headlines here. And I think the treated roads will be in pretty good shape. It'll be a wet snow with temperatures hovering near freezing. Untreated roads and the county neighborhood roads likely going to be snow covered in many areas, again, along and north of Interstate 64 over much of southern Indiana. So the impact early tomorrow morning, some slick roads. I don't think the roads will be bad for long. They should improve very quickly with above freezing temperatures tomorrow afternoon. With that said, we'll likely have some either 2-hour delays at least or some school cancellations for our Friday. So fun stuff to talk about if you like winter weather. Hashtag bots, bring on the snow. And here's what we're looking at. This is the winter weather advisory. You can see it does now include Louisville. Overnight, the National Weather Service extended the winter weather advisory to include Metro Louisville. And you can see some of the details included with that. You're looking at our interactive map at extolmag.com/weather. So you can see the live temperatures here hovering around 30 to 32 degrees, pretty light breeze out there right now. But this winter weather advisory, you can see it extends. It's going to be a clipper system that moves in from the northwest. So you can see the shape, the kind of skinny shape of that winter weather advisory all the way from Montana, unbroken, from Montana to North Dakota, South Dakota, southwestern Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, southwest Ohio, Kentucky, into the Appalachians. So kind of interesting there. So a clipper system, by the way, sometimes they're called Saskatchewan screamers or Manitoba maulers. Quick hitting batch of generally light snow amounts. When you think clipper system, think about 1 to 3 inches. It's just a little kind of disturbance riding the jet stream in from the western sections of Canada. They happen a lot in the wintertime, and that's what we're going to get, a little clipper system. Another clipper system could bring in some light accumulating snow in similar areas for Saturday afternoon. So I want to be very clear about this. Sometimes during the silly snow season, there's a lot of maps out there that confuse a lot of us. So I want to make it really clear, really simple about the timing, the amount, and the impact here for our Ben at 10 show here this morning. By the way, thanks for tuning in to the show. This is Ben at 10, your daily weather show for Southern Indiana, for Metro Louisville, for Kentucky, the Ohio Valley, and beyond, where we discuss all things weather. We got weather jokes, weather history, all that fun stuff as well for the next 45 minutes to an hour. And if you have any weather questions, feel free to drop them in. Don't be shy. Let us know where you're watching from as well. Always love to see where everybody is tuning in from on the program here this morning. All right, everything's looking good, and we're going to see who is tuning in, and then we'll get right to your forecast here in just a second. So we got a good morning from Beverly Haggist. Happy birthday, Beverly Haggist. Look at that. Everybody give a nice happy birthday to Beverly Haggist this morning. We got Perry Porter popping in the house this morning. I've misplaced the coffee, but found it. All right, we got Big Happy. I'm going to try to find Big Frowny like I was talking about yesterday. And we got Orlean Whitlow in here with the Thursday morning, Friday eve. Tired of the cold weather. It will get better by the middle of next week. We may, in fact, have some 50s to show you. And it may get warmer than that. Not next week, but the following week. Christmas week could be a pretty warm week. Dennis Gregory, good morning from Bedford. Spitting snow here now. Yeah, some flurries out there this morning. Bedford, Seymour, up around Highway 50. I think that's kind of the bullseye. You might be in that 4-inch range or so. Please let me know, though, tomorrow morning on the show how much snow you do get on the ground. Be Local 502, bring it on. We've got groceries, so we're ready. I don't think we need to make a run on the grocery stores for the milk and bread because this is going to be a really short-lived impact early tomorrow morning. So we could probably hold off on the milk sandwiches for this snowstorm. Mary Dale with a good morning. Thanks for tuning in. And Orleans got the happy birthday for Beverly Haggis, and we got a good morning here at 32 degrees at Lillian Lasley's place, which we saw on our temperature map as well. So that matches up very good for us. All right, I want to mention too here as we get started that if you have any weather questions, if you want to join up with any marketing or advertising solutions for your company or business or organization, you can always reach out to me, Ben at extolmag.com, EXTOLMAG.com, or Jason at extolmag.com. We've been reaching anywhere from around 1.5 to 2 million viewers over the last 28 days just on my Facebook page. Also a reminder, NWSB, any branch location, they are still accepting donations, food donations for REACH, a program for kids. That's canned food, non-perishable items, snacks, dry cereals until the 15th. So about 4 more days with that. And 1 more day to help out the Angel Tree program at Ivy Tech Sellersburg campus. That's Highway 311, I-65 out at Fowl Hall. Right when you drive in, that's what you'd run into, PFAU, Fowl Hall. And any one of those tags you can grab and buy those gifts for a child of a student at Ivy Tech Sellersburg, and then just turn it into Ivy Cares there at Fowl Hall. Our weather headlines: winter weather advisory, 7 p.m. today until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. So it's a nighttime snow event here for us. So we'll likely go to bed with not much snow and then wake up maybe with some light accumulations. Slick roads likely early tomorrow, especially untreated surfaces. I think it'll be a slow enough snow. The road crews will be able to keep up. So I think a lot of the highways, byways, interstates, and main routes will be in pretty good shape tomorrow morning, but it's going to be the neighborhood roads that we're going to have to watch out for, the county roads. Light snow, again, potential for Saturday. This is a infographic from the National Weather Service, and what it says here, it shows some of the snowfall amounts. A lot of areas around 1 to 3 inches. We might see a little bit more in kind of a zone around Seymour, Indiana to Madison, Indiana. But it says a fast-moving Alberta Clipper, which we just talked about, will bring a swath of accumulating snow across much of the area this evening into Friday morning. 1 to 4 inches, although a few localized amounts near 5 inches could occur in that darker blue area that you see there up around Seymour. The most impactful snow will fall between 7 p.m. tonight, 7 a.m. Friday, and so lower confidence in that red circled area. So how far south will this thing go? South of 64, you may get kind of a dusting or a very light amount, but the farther south you go, snow shuts off. There's going to be a lot of people that are happy. A lot of people are mad. This is a system that will upset people that want snow, that are too far south. The people that don't want snow, it's going to make them mad. If you're farther north, I mean, this is just a situation where there's going to be some haves and have-nots as far as snowfall, and there's going to be a sharp cutoff south of Louisville in the snow amounts. So Karen Hart, Elizabethtown, I would say very little. You might get a dusting out of this. And so as that map showed, it really shuts off pretty quickly the farther south you go. But down to Elizabethtown, it shows just kind of on that edge, inch or less. And we'll look at the weather models, the high resolution weather models, and time this out and show you that in more detail here, because the high resolution weather models, they update every hour. So it's good to get that fresh information, the very latest here for you. And we'll bring up those maps here in just a moment. But again, there's that. And this is some of the latest. I've pulled up these maps here. This is the HRRR on the left, the high resolution rapid refresh weather model, and then the NAM 3 kilometer weather models on the right. And you can see they are very similar And as I was saying yesterday, generally, give or take a county maybe south from Orange County, Indiana, Paoli, Indiana, if you draw a line from there through Louisville to maybe just south of Lexington and north up to near Indianapolis is where we see the best chance for this accumulating snow. So the models are pretty locked on, and generally around 1 to 4 inches in the snow zone is what we're talking about there with that. So if you're new to the program here on the show, Ben at 10, we like to give you the forecast right off the bat. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments. We will get to that. I'll do my best to answer any of your questions. And we're going to dig into the weather models here shortly. Always like to give the current conditions as well. We like to take a few looks outside. And weather models, typically around 10:20, we'll start to look at the model data if you want to stick around for the weather nerd portion of the show. And that is a scene we have seen too often this late November into December. I'm seeing maybe a couple flurries flying out there as well. But just a gray sky out there, and you're not alone if you're getting tired of it. Hey, we want to give a shout out to our partners here before we really dig in. Lions Roofing, if you got any leaks going on, if you got any gutter problems, give them a shout here. 812-294-3595. They've personally helped me, my mom. So you can get free estimates here online at lionsroofingco.com, lionsroofingco.com. And you can find a lot more about their company right there as well. They are expanding. There might be a career opportunity for you if you know somebody that wants an opportunity, a roofing repair technician. We love to talk about opportunities in Southern Indiana and beyond. And here is the Sellersburg Spotlight. We're talking about Ivy Tech Community College, Sellersburg. We just talked about their Angel Tree program. That is one more day with that. But you belong here. Any part of your life, you can sign up for their programs and their sessions that are ongoing throughout the year. So they're going to meet you where you are at, and they're going to help you out in how to get registered, make it accessible for you, how to pay for it. And they've got dozens of 2-year certification programs. And Michael Long here, American Family Insurance. Go to amfam.com, search Michael Long. You're going to find my insurance agent. We've had some price reductions, which is awesome. And you bundle, you can save more. You use the app, you can save more, and he'll find some ways for you to save. So tell him I sent you. Get a quote, 812-578-3072. And again, you're going to see a lot of information with the interactive maps here that we have loaded up for you at extolmag.com/weather. So this one here, if this gray map is dozens of weather layers here, you can click on what it says rain and thunder, and then you scroll down a little bit, you hit play, and then you're going to see the future cast. You're going to see that snow moving in from the northwest as this plays out in time. So this is going to 7 p.m. tonight, 8 p.m., 9 p.m. There's that band of snow moving through the area. This is at 7 a.m., 8 o'clock. So around sunrise, it starts to glide off to the east. So mostly a late night, overnight thing as this moves through. Now, as we look a little bit farther ahead in time, this is the European weather model. Look at Saturday afternoon. We've got another similar kind of area of snow. That's a Saturday right there. And so we might see a winter weather advisory for Saturday as well. So stay tuned for that. And then behind that Saturday snow, it is the polar blast. We're talking high temperatures only in the teens and lows in the single digits, the coldest since January. Once we break out of that cold spell, we're going to see a warmer pattern by the middle of next week that should continue through our Christmas week. So there's a lot of tools and cool things that you can see right there. All right. We have some comments popping in here, and then we're going to load up the forecast and get after it here this morning. Karen Hart asking about Elizabethtown, how much snow? I would say inch or less, kind of like a dusting south of Louisville. And bye-bye, Lily and Lasley. Thanks for tuning in here for a little while, heading to E-Town. E-Town's a popular town this morning. Good morning to everybody in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. And Orlean saying we won't get quite as cold if we don't get a lot of snow. You're going to get very cold Sunday, Orlean. We are all going to be frigid. Okay, Michael Harden, what up, Big Ben? Just got here. What time are we thinking for the bad road potential tonight or tomorrow morning? So I'd say as you close in on midnight tonight, the roads will probably start to get a bit slick that are untreated. The treated roads, I think, will melt pretty good because temperatures are going to be hovering near freezing. So I think a lot of the main routes are going to be pretty good overall through this event. It's going to be those county roads, outer roads, side roads, neighborhood roads that get snow covered tomorrow morning. And I think the road crews will be able to keep up with this system early Friday. And then So Friday morning around sunrise, the peak of the morning commute is going to be probably the worst part of this, where we have those slick outer roads. And then we're going to improve pretty quickly with above freezing temperatures late tomorrow morning and into the afternoon. So really short-lived impact with this snow that we have moving in. But just watch for that late tonight into early tomorrow morning. Carol Payne saying, so gloomy, a few flurries out there. Yeah, we do have a couple flurries. And Vicky Berger, we'll see you later. Have fun at the dentist. That reminds me I need to schedule an appointment. Kenny DeWitt, I'm looking for a home in Florida. I am sick of this shh already. I know what you're saying there. Why did my ancestors pick the Ohio Valley? Patty Brown with a good morning, and Sheila Milburn from Georgetown, Indiana. How much snow? Again, we're talking about 1 to 4 inches in most locations, north of 64 for tonight. All right, we're going to dig into the fun stuff, and then we'll get into the forecast. And in about 5 minutes, we're going to dig into the weather model data. And just looking at the current temperatures, it is cold. But here is the source, the polar air that'll move in Saturday into Sunday with single-digit temperatures. Yes, we will. Don't be surprised by this. We are getting that. We are getting single-digit numbers this weekend, and highs only in the teens on Sunday. We've been talking about it for a long time, kind of been overshadowed by the snow potential this week, but that polar blast is still in the forecast, still on the way, and we will definitely be talking about that coming up here shortly. The radar and satellite, the RADSAT, is pretty quiet. We've got cloud cover around the area. The system that'll move in for us right now is happening, but it's up to our northwest over Montana and into South Dakota. It's pretty interesting. In Montana and up into, I showed this a little bit earlier, but if you're just popping in, there's an unbroken skinny winter weather advisory from Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota, southwestern Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, and into the Appalachians. So it is a very long and skinny winter weather advisory that is out with this Clipper system, this Alberta Clipper. And Sheila Milburn, you are 100% correct with the BRRR Burr that is on the way here for us. It's going to be pretty rough this weekend. We are going through the logs in the wood stove right now. Our countdown here, 10 days until winter begins. We've had a big head start on winter season. Hey, just 2 weeks until Christmas with a warmer week for Christmas. We'll look at that with the long-range outlook here in just a second as well. 87 days until the time change, and spring is now 99 days away. Today's weather history, 1905, South America heat record of 120 degrees. 1944, Toronto's heaviest snow with almost 20 inches. Huge gale force winds, and it caused 21 deaths and factory closures there. 1992, the 92 nor'easter, one of the century's fiercest storms, with coastal tides that rivaled hurricane strength. Wind gusts at 93 miles per hour, 32 inches of snow. And this is the anniversary of the 2021 Midwest tornado outbreak, especially western Kentucky with the EF4. If you remember, I was on air for over 8 hours straight tracking that awful tornado outbreak in Kentucky that took a lot of lives and did a tremendous amount of damage. And also caused some severe weather in Indiana as well. Our stupid weather jokes, maybe not totally weather related, but here's a bar joke here for you. Two guys walk into a bar. The third guy ducked. I like the cartoon there with the swollen head. How do you get a country girl's attention? A tractor. Get it? Pun, attraction, a tractor. Lobster. Why did the lobster blush? It saw the ocean's bottom. And a state joke here. What did Tennessee? The same thing, Arkansas. Saw, Tennessee, saw. All right. These were kind of pun related here. They're free. All right, here's your forecast here for today. For your Thursday, happy Friday Eve, December the 11th. A couple flurries flying with the clouds, 36. We'll have that night snow mainly after 7 p.m. West wind at 5 to 10. Just bundle up out there. Tonight, I should say. Snow, steady snow. 31 degrees our low temperature. Slick roads will be possible. 1 to 4 inches of snowfall where we have the winter weather advisory. If you go south of Louisville, you're going to be running out of snow. It's kind of turning into a dusting to nothing. And probably nothing south of the parkways in Kentucky. And your forecast tomorrow, after some slick roads early, temperatures will be above freezing, so the impacts will be limited and short-lived as far as the slick roads tomorrow morning. So just a quick impact here for us. Again, that winter weather advisory ends right now at 7 a.m. Friday. Okay, here we go. A frigid weekend, another chance of some snow, similar to where we have the snow tonight for Saturday afternoon. This could produce some light accumulations. We might get a winter weather advisory for that as well. 31, that high temperature, down to 6 Saturday night, 14 your high Sunday, the coldest since we had a cold spell last January. 5 Sunday night, only 29 Monday. And then we'll break out of that, and 40 degrees Tuesday. Upper 40s, low 50s. Hey, might get above normal with our temperatures with some rain chances by the middle of next week. And that warmer pattern could continue through Christmas week. Now, this weekend, as we get down to the teens and we freeze a layer of ground, you might Google what's called frost quakes. Sometimes if that ground freezes and then kind of thaws, like Sunday, Monday, sometimes it can make a boom out of nowhere. And people are like, what the heck was that? So it can be those little frost quakes every once in a while that we don't talk about very often. John Fox, good morning to all. Thank you. You're very welcome. No problem. Always happy to hear your questions. And Beverly and John Fox loving the jokes here for today. All right, it is time to dig into the weather models. And again, if you're just popping in, feel free, don't be shy to ask any weather questions here. This is your show. Guide it along. Here we go. We got Big Happy here in the house. I'm going to be looking for a big frowny cup as this crappy weather kind of continues here for us. Okay, the radar and satellite's quiet. We've had a couple flurries flying around here this morning. The system that will impact our area is up here right now in South Dakota and into northeastern Montana. It's an Alberta Clipper. It will be traveling this direction later on tonight and spreading our way, traveling down the jet stream that is oriented from northwest to southeast. That is the analysis. Let's get to the prognosis or the forecast as we bring up the future radar. So first we're going to talk snow, then we're going to talk frigid temperatures. We haven't brought up the wicked wind chills that we could have at times this weekend too. So this model is the NAM 3 kilometer. It's a high resolution weather model. I'm going to put the precip type on here. When I precip type it, it does take just a second or two longer to load up. Let me go ahead and jump ahead to 6 p.m. this evening as that snow begins to drift our direction. So through the daytime today, we're in good shape, no problems with the roads. And there you can see, initially we might get a little sleet that kind of mixes in. Should be mainly just a light snow event for us. Even though I say light, of course, it can still be impactful. And if you're up towards Seymour, Indiana, Highway 50 over towards Bedford, that could be kind of a bullseye area that sees not light snow, maybe like 4 inches. Maybe there could be some isolated 5-inch snows as well. All right, I'm going to head to midnight as we head into our early Friday morning. That swath batch of snow is going to be right on top of us. Notice as you go south of Louisville, might run into a little bit of a mix and some lighter amounts. So there you go. There's that batch of snow moving in from the northwest. Clipper system. Generally, a clipper will give you, rule of thumb, 1 to 3 inches of snow. Let's pop ahead 3 hours from midnight to 3 a.m. So during the overnight period, I think is when we'll have the steadiest snow coming down. This does have a little bit of snow south of Louisville. I say, again, when you go county by county south of Louisville, you're going to be looking at probably just a dusting. Now, southeast of Louisville, you could still be in that 1 to 3 inch area around Lexington, south to Richmond. So I would say a line from Richmond, Kentucky to Louisville up Highway 150 towards Paoli, north of 64. Just kind of give you some generalizations here. And really just kind of a county, maybe south of 64 north is where we have this winter weather advisory and the potential for 1 to 4 inches of snowfall for your early Friday morning. But that is our 3 a.m. right there. I'm going to go to 7 a.m. on our Friday the 12th. Hey, it's not Friday the 13th, so that's good. And by this time, we still have right around sunrise, west of I-65 is clearing out and wrapping up. East of I-65, maybe still some light snow showers around 7 a.m., but this should wrap up pretty quickly and not last much longer than around sunrise tomorrow morning. Going here to 9 a.m. And again, we're looking at the NAM 3-kilometer weather model, the steady snow starting to move off to the east shortly around or after sunrise. So with that finishing off right around sunrise, peak of the morning commute, there obviously it's with the timing of that, I would say we'll probably get some school cancellations or the e-learning or the synchronous learning or the asynchronous learning. So a snow day, I think, for a lot of kids in the snow zone. So I would say that snow zone especially is where you see it right there. Now, the southwestern half of our region that we talk about, say Elizabethtown, Western Kentucky Parkway, west of I-65 in Kentucky, I say not much of an impact in those areas in general for system number 1. And this is going to look very similar. I'll go to the overnight period here, 3 a.m. with the HIIR high resolution rapid refresh weather model, and it's got some of that snow in kind of the same areas. They kind of output and look a little bit different depending on the weather model, but they're all pretty similar overall. There's a weather model I don't use very often. Let's see what this one looks like. That's not showing very much at all. Here's the NAM at 3 o'clock in the morning. It shows pretty good snow over the region. They're all pretty similar overall. And the forecast really hasn't changed. And actually, this is a very simple forecast that it's mainly just snow. We're not talking about a lot of different types of precipitation, although maybe a little bit of sleet mixes in, maybe a little bit of rain off to the south too. And general 1 to 3 inches. Sometimes there's some spots that overachieve a little bit. But as far as clipper systems are pretty friendly, in my opinion. They don't cause havoc unless you just freak out over snow. But they're pretty simple systems, and we'll have another one Saturday. So speaking of Saturday, so this is system number 1, winter weather advisories, as we talked about. And if you're popping in a little bit later, I can also show you. It is kind of interesting to look at the winter weather advisory. So this is the winter weather advisory. Again, you can see these maps, interactive maps with live weather information. But it's pretty cool. These clipper systems dive in from the northwest. Very skinny winter weather advisory from Montana, again, all the way into West Virginia, western North Carolina, and includes Metro Louisville, almost all of southern Indiana, does not include Evansville. But all of that kind of light purple shading is the winter weather advisory, 7 p.m. tonight until 7 a.m. for your Friday morning. All right. And again, there are tons of resources that we put together for you at extolmag.com, extolmag.com/weather if you want to check that out. Okay. So we've covered the system number 1. Let's go to system number 2. I'm going to fire up the NAM, which we already have here, and we're going to look ahead to a Saturday light snow event, which the weather models have been very consistent with that. And Saturday is the 13th. So I'm going to go to Saturday, 1 p.m. Looks just like system number 1, system number 2, dropping in from the northwest, another clipper system. Let's go to so this is 1 p.m. on Saturday. Let's go ahead and jump ahead to 4 p.m. on Saturday. Starting to bring in that snow. Again, similar areas. And we'll go ahead and go to 7 o'clock. So afternoon, evening kind of thing. Very similar trajectory as system number 1, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Light accumulations possible with temperatures at or below freezing all day Saturday. This could stick pretty efficiently, meaning once it gets frigid this weekend, lighter amount of snow sticks more efficiently, could cause similar slick impacts as system number one that melts more but might produce more snow. So to get impacts on the roads, if it's colder, you don't need as much snow. I have slid down our hills in our neighborhood with like just barely a glaze of snow on our roads. So sometimes if it's cold enough, it does not take much to cause the impacts, and perhaps you've seen that as well. Okay, now we are going to 10 p.m. on our Saturday. Still looks like some light snow across the area. Once again, Interstate 64 and north with the potential of that snow right there. And I'm going to go to, this is snow depth. So system number one, our Friday system. And I'm sure this will pop up a lot of 2-inch spots. So there you go. That's showing 2-inch areas. That is the NAM. I'm going to bring up the NAM 3 kilometer. We'll erase that. It is also showing a lot of 2-inch amounts. And notice the cutoff here, at least with this weather model. As I zoom in here, you go south of Louisville into Bullitt County, sharp cutoff to nothing. So if you want good roads tomorrow morning south of Louisville, you're in pretty good shape. Now, I do think a lot of the treated roads, main routes, are going to be in pretty good shape, just wet for the most part tomorrow morning with temperatures near freezing. Road crews will be able to keep up with this. The salt will work just fine. The brine will work just fine. It's the untreated roads that you're really going to have to watch for. Really just getting out of the neighborhood is what might be an issue for tomorrow morning. So let's kind of look at there. Okay. So that is, we've looked at system number one. We've looked at system number two. System number two might bring, another inch or two of snowfall to the area. Now I want to warm things up. Flip the script. We are going to see a jet stream pattern change. So the jet stream right now is diving from the northwest. We're going to shove it to the north, middle of next week and through Christmas week. If you remember, the rule is south of the jet stream warm, north of the jet stream cold. So this weekend, the jet stream is diving south, and we are frigid this weekend. I'm going to go to actually, I still need to talk about temperatures. I almost ignored our temperatures. Look at this diving jet stream, though, here. This is pretty wild. So this is why we are so dang cold this weekend, diving jet stream. But next week, we're going to start to get this action here. They're warm out west. It looks like we do have a warm up in the not too distant future after some really cold temperatures, maybe near record cold high temperatures Sunday. Okay, with that said, let me get back to our Sunday morning temperatures, which are just wild. And in fact, I'm going to bring up, there won't be, I don't think, much of a wind, but I'm going to go into the 14th morning here and look at, that's crazy cold. -30, Minneapolis. Chicago, -20. Indianapolis, minus almost 20. Into Louisville we go. This is Sunday morning. Wind chills in the negative numbers here. Don't be surprised. We're telling you right now, it's going to be crazy cold this Sunday. There you go. Let's just go full screen and feast your eyes and soak up our negative wind chills Sunday morning. That is pretty wild this early in the season. Okay, so that is your Sunday morning. Let's go to Sunday afternoon, which is not going to be much of a warm-up. We're looking at actual temperatures in the teens for Sunday afternoon. And here's your wind chill for Sunday afternoon. Single-digit wind chills. Let's bring that up full screen. This is Sunday afternoon. Weather models in agreement. We will enjoy the indoors. That is some I mean, that's typically we get a cold shot like that, like late January, the dead of winter, the heart of winter is typically when we see numbers like that. We're ahead of schedule as far as that cold air. All right, so that is the coldest that we get. Now let's look ahead to the warmest here. I was seeing just a couple comments popping up. Beverly's got a little snow at the house there. Yeah, some flurries flying around this morning. And we got a good morning from Amber Terry. Thanks for watching. We're going to have any sun Sunday. There is a chance for some sun peeking out on Sunday afternoon. We're searching for some sunshine too with this vitamin D deficiency weather pattern that we are in the middle of. I'm going to pop ahead here, guys, to Wednesday, the 7th, our next hump day, the 17th, I should say. So we'll go to 4 p.m. on the 17th, and it's not looking as bad. So the horrific cold goes back, retreats north. So there you go. That's kind of the air that we have Sunday. It goes back north. The jet stream is starting to lift up to the north, and notice these milder temperatures starting to spread our way. It is a direct connection to the orientation of the jet stream, which begins to weaken and lift to the north. So instead of taking that dive to the south, the jet stream is starting to flatten out and lift a bit to the north. That is going to encourage pretty good warm-up and a warmer weather pattern that could continue for a little while here for us. So back to our temperature map. I'm going to go to Thursday, the 18th of, I would like to say January, but this is still December. Winter has not even begun yet. Begun. All right, here we go. Here is next Thursday. If we can get yellow colors in here, guys, that is a pretty good warm-up. Showing some 50s, heading our direction, maybe by the latter stages of our next work week. So we got to get through the weekend. Polar blast, Arctic air, frigid temperatures, and then we will begin to thaw out. Let me jump ahead as we head into our Christmas week. So it would be 19th Friday, 20th Saturday, 21st Sunday. What, going in the 22nd, I guess, would be Christmas week. Let's see what we have here. We still have the milder air winning the battle for us Christmas week. I'm going to go to the 23rd. We'll go through Christmas time here. When you get warm-ups in the winter, oh my gosh, it's still showing this. Yesterday it showed this too. When you see consistency, maybe this will happen, but you do not want 60s, 70s this time of year. It can bring severe storms. And look at the contrast here. It has 70s ahead of this front, Christmas Eve, and 20s behind it. 50, 60-degree drop in temperatures. That would be a strong front. And if we bring up the precipitation, there is a 100% chance that there would be a line of showers and storms along that front that strong. So that's Christmas Eve. We'll see if that happens. Again, since we are going this far out, it is now the good old Ben on a limb. So we'll see if this actually happens, this setup happens, but showing a warmer weather pattern middle of next week through Christmas week. And if we get that warm, typically you're going to pay for it. And so I'm going to go to Christmas Day. It's got that line, that cold front moving through. And I mean, that is, it's easy to find the front. When you play the find the front game, you can see 60s ahead of it and much colder air behind the front. Past Christmas Day, we can go to the day after Christmas, the 26th. Now that's kind of weird. It shows a rapid warm-up right behind a cold front. But if we do get into a warmer weather pattern, we might get into a more volatile, dynamic weather pattern. That seems a little iffy, that solution right there, but there you go. Might be a warm Christmas week towards New Year's. We will see. And maybe a busier weather pattern with storm chances instead of snow chances. All right. That's looking down the All right, going to bring up the rad sat as we have clouds, couple flurries out there. Actually, I'm going to bring up, sometimes these flurries can kind of float beneath the radar with these very low clouds, and we just don't see them. So I'm going to wait for our live radar scan to load up. And yeah, not seeing a whole lot here showing up on the live radar scan. Oops. I'm just playing around with the radar right now. All right. Anywho, that is that. If you're tuning in just a little bit later, we're going to give a recap of the forecast here at 10:41. Of course, we've had plenty to talk about here this morning with the winter weather advisory and all of that fun stuff. So here we go. Let's bring it back up. Let's re-rack it here. So winter weather advisory, 7 p.m. tonight until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Slick roads, likely early Friday, especially untreated roads, 1 to 4 inches where we have the winter weather advisory. And we have some more light snow potential Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. This was the infographic from the National Weather Service this morning, which shows a red highlighted area south of Louisville, which is a question mark. Will we get some light accumulations there? Will the winter weather advisory need to be extended south a county? There can always be those adjustments ahead. But right now, generally around I-64 North is where we see the best potential of this 1 to 4 inch snowfall tonight after 7 p.m. Weather models. Here's some of the latest that I plopped on here this morning. The high-resolution rapid refresh weather model, the NAM 3 kilometer, both very similar, where we have the winter weather advisory. We did the countdown here, 10 days until winter, 14 days until Christmas, 87 days until the time change in March, and 99 days until springtime. Today's weather history, I'll slap this on Facebook at noon. You can take a longer look at it. And we had some stupid weather jokes today. 2 guys walk into a bar. The third guy ducked. I don't know if you can see it, but the first guy's got a big knot on his head already. How do you get a country girl's attention? A tractor. Get it? Attraction, a tractor. Why did the lobster blush? It saw the ocean's bottom. What did Tennessee? The same thing, Arkansas. See, saw? Today's forecast, 36 degrees. It's a cold one out there. Some flurries flying underneath some of those clouds. That snow moving in, the steady snow moving in after 7 p.m. And if you've got to drive during the overnight early tomorrow morning, you're going to have to watch out for some slick conditions. Snow overnight, low of 31 degrees. Snow wrapping up right around or just after sunrise tomorrow morning. And then we're left with a dry day, high of 39. The winds will be pretty light out of the north at around 5 to 10 tomorrow. Normal high is 48, so we're about 10 degrees below normal tomorrow. Sunrise at 7:50, our sunset at 5:23. And here we go with the 7-day forecast. We've got a frigid weekend on the way. No doubt about that, with 31 the high Saturday, with light snow Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. 6 our low temperature Saturday night. 14 the high Sunday. 5 the low Sunday night. Upper 20s on Monday, but we get some sunshine. 40 Tuesday, milder weather pattern again the middle of next week. When it gets milder, a lot of times we'll have some rain chances returning to the area as well. So there we go. A lot of resources here as always. There's our live show up here at extolmag.com/weather. Check it out. Thanks for liking or subscribing. If you just hit the like button, that helps spread our show all over the place. You've got a lot of power in that like button, so appreciate that. Right now we're hovering at 32 degrees. You've got your tabs here on the right side that give you your daily weather forecast, your hour-by-hour forecast, 7-day forecast that I posted, the weather story that I posted, interactive maps, which I showed you have the future radar, the future cast. It's got satellite. It's got everything that you could imagine here. Clicking on this tab right here, this is the rain thunder tab, but if you hit play in the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to see the snow drifting in from the northwest. There's the snow for tonight as we go hour by hour here. And you can see on the bottom, there's a little scroller that shows you the time. So that moves out tomorrow morning. And then we're going to reload as we go into Saturday. And watch this. This is now Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Next batch of some light snow dropping in with another clipper system. So these are the resources available for you anytime at extolmag.com/weather. Hey, we want to say thank you to our partners here that allow us to do what we do. Lyons Roofing, Lyons, right here in our backyard in southern Indiana. But they got you covered on both sides of the river, Louisville Metro, anywhere around our region that we're talking about. Give them a call, 812-294-3595. If you got any issues, if you're seeing any spots on your ceiling, any leaky stuff going on, any damage to shingles, gutters, you might want to get it checked out. They can get you a free estimate as well. And this is lionsroofingco.com. Sellersburg, this is our Sellersburg Spotlight, meaning Ivy Tech Community College, Sellersburg campus, right there at Highway 311, I-65, 9 miles north of Louisville. They make education accessible to our area, powering the workforce in our area. And also, they have been helping out their students, our community. So this is the angel tree that they have for one more day. It is the giving season. If you want to see if there's some tags left on that tree right there, that is at Fowl Hall, PFAU. You'll run right into it when you drive into the campus. And you can take one of those tags right there. It's got the name of the child, the age, what they need. Take that, go buy some of the gifts, give it to Ivy Cares there in Fowl Hall. And you have helped out, and we appreciate that. Food drive continues for 4 more days at NWSB branches. You don't have to be a member. You can drop off canned food, non-perishable items, snacks, dry cereals until the 15th. Any branch, NWSB branch. So thanks for helping out with that cause as well. And moving right along, also want to thank my buddy Michael Long right here, my insurance agent, my mom's insurance agent. We are finding ways to save, and he's looking out for you. He'll give me a call or an email. Hey, we've got another way to save. Add some life insurance. Your bill's going to go down. Try the app. Your bill's going to go down. And all that is true. Give him a call if you want to get a quote. 812-578-3072. Even a little bit can go a long way this day and age here. So we're looking live one last time at the gloomy conditions here with the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera. Falls of the Ohio.org, I should say. Gray and gloomy. I mean, unfortunately, just keep getting that vitamin D with the no sun forecast here and the snow on the way in our backyard, right out our window at Extol Media Studios. A few flurries flying with the low clouds out there. And again, don't be surprised if you see a snowflake or two today. But the main event, our winter weather advisory, is generally after 7 p.m. when we'll have that steady snow moving in and some accumulations of, again, around 1 to 4 inches. Thanks. If you're watching the replay, say hi, drop in the comments. If you have any questions, I'll try to get to those later on today. We do see those numbers go up through the afternoon, evening. So hello to you if you're watching that replay. Thanks for subscribing to our YouTube channel as well. Sometimes we're on at different times of day, like the last snow system that we had. I got on real early around 6 a.m. to look at the road conditions. So sometimes it's not just been at 10. That'll give you a notification that we're on. Thanks for liking, following our Facebook page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, Extol Weather, EXTOL Weather on Facebook, Extol Media on YouTube, extolmag.com/weather online. Checking our last comments here. We've got Donna. Good morning to you. Warm up is my language, middle of next week for Linda Baker. And Steve Gibbons. Yeah, that's a good point. The storm that blew through Brandenburg yesterday, we had a little squall that moved through that area. It had wind, rain, sleet, and grauple with a bolt of lightning and thunder. So I guess, yeah, thunderstorm. Visibility was 0. Glad it didn't last long. Yeah, it slammed through here as well, mostly as rain, a little bit of sleet mixed in. And then I did see some pictures of that grauple as well. So very cool. there. If you want to learn more about GRAUPEL, it's a more rare type of precipitation. It's not hail, it's not sleet. It's kind of a little snow-packed little tiny ball. So check that out. JK's in the house. I am just getting here, so we'll watch the entire video later. Okay, I'll stop the video here in just a second so you can watch the replay. We did cover a lot. And have a good afternoon, Orlean Whitlow, as well. We'll end it right there. Hey, we'll be on tomorrow morning checking out the snow, the impacts on the roads, and all that fun stuff as well. Looking ahead as well to our weekend snow and polar blast. Fun time of year. All right, we'll see you later, guys.